Can you talk about Dax? Kind of struggled at times with the shot and then came through with his defense.
Well, Dax has put more time in this year than he's probably put in the previous 3 years in terms of trying to study the game, study the opponent, and getting in the gym. And you know, he has not been a very good free throw shooter for 3 years, and he's really taken it to heart. And started out bad, but he shot it really well since. He made 2 huge plays, huge plays. They scored on that elevator screen earlier, and he did a great job of getting around the screen and knocking the ball down and then saving it. And then the other one, he ran through. I mean, we do that every day. So that one wasn't as big a shock to us as I didn't think it was, because that's the rotation that we work on. So, but the first one was a heck of a play.
Speaking of screens, how do you guys prepare for their type of offense?
Well, we read in an article that said we played a cake schedule up until then. That, you know, I know Tony doesn't feel that way, but you know, people are we were going to be ready to play anyway, but I think that got us a little bit even more ready to play. You know, and all that stuff helps. I had a guy at Cincinnati used to make stuff up. A player. I mean, he was a player. He used to make stuff up just to get everybody riled up. So, they're good, and they're good. They are without a question. Whatever, I don't know. I haven't seen everybody, so it's hard to say. But they're certainly a top 15 team or whatever. They'll be really good in their league as always. Tony does a great job of coaching. Great job.
Coach I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, go.
Sure. Guy misses, I think his first 7, and then are you worried about him getting hot or?
You're always worried about him, but we let him get going. We stopped guarding him. I thought we did a great job early of making him take tough shots and really work hard to get his shots, and then we for whatever reason forgot he was out there. And he's not a good shooter. He's a great shooter. JZ made some shots too now, though. I mean, the one he made with the shot clock running down was huge.
Same sense. Do you think they forgot about Lamont? The stretches?
No. Lamont's gotten better. I mean, Lamont is getting it off a little quicker. He's using pump fakes now. You know, he has shown he never drove by anybody before, and now I think when you look at film, you can see he has the ability to drive by people, and he's probably our best finisher at the rim. So I think that helped him, but he wasn't shooting it very well, Justin. You know, and he came in and said, "Will you help me?" And I mean, it really wasn't. He wasn't lifting it up and wasn't getting through it. And I think what happens when you start missing shots, particularly a guy like him that's used to making shots, you start to press a little bit, and then you start to aim the ball and not shoot it. I just told him, just shoot the dang thing. Don't aim it.
Obviously, the opening to the season wasn't what you wanted, but the Missouri and now this over 2 good teams, you feel like you're getting a handle on what you want?
We're getting better. Yeah, we're getting better. We've got to get better offensively. We just don't we don't go through any kind of progression when we get the ball. You know, in terms of who's supposed to come open first, and then if he's covered, who's supposed to come open second and third. You know, and we've got to keep getting better at that. That's why I try to keep the ball in JC and Dax's hands as much as I possibly can, because they're better at reading the play that Lamont made when they ran under the screen and he popped back. I mean, that's why Dax had the ball, because Dax knows to look there. If it had been one of those other guys, they may not even have looked for him. They'd be looking for him to come off the screen. He didn't come off the screen, they wouldn't have known where he was. So, I mean, that part of it we've got to get a whole lot better at.
Bob, you had five guys play 30 minutes,
Yeah.
which is unusual. Did you treat this one a little bit differently as far as playing time, knowing it might be slower, or knowing that you had to value possessions, or?
They run really good stuff, Mike. You know, they're the.
Coach, what do you think the biggest difference is between the team at the beginning of the season and now after this game?
We're better. I mean, it's what we're supposed to do. I mean, we practice 3 hours, you know, every day, and you're supposed to get better. I don't think anybody has given these guys the credit that they ought to get, because we're playing so many young guys. Our sophomore class it's a huge class, and there's guys haven't played. I mean, they really haven't played. Sags played a little bit last year, playing behind Elijah. Chase hardly played. Beetle hasn't played much. Lamont played a little bit more than those guys, but I mean, we don't have veteran guys. We have 2 seniors, and really, I don't even know if we have a junior. I think we only have 1 junior, and the rest of them are sophomores and freshmen. So that's a lot of stuff to learn. A lot of stuff to learn. I just think we're getting better. They try. We're able to. Technology now is unbelievable. I mean, they send game film to their phone. They can sit there on their phone and watch game film. So.
Bob, one of those sophomores was Leiris. He was saying yesterday, he said he still feels rusty. Do you see that he is progressing? Where's his ceiling?
I think he will end up being a terrific defender. I mean, not good, terrific. He's got length. He's got good feet. He can run and jump. I mean, I think he can be an elite defender for us. It just comes down to understanding what people are going to do. You know, once as he grows and he sees different things and he has to adjust to different things, he's going to be great. I mean, you said, like, we were getting screened, and then we put JC on a guy and he didn't get screened because he knows what he's supposed to be doing.
Hey, Bob, if you go back to the series here, if you think about the game of the Garden, I guess it was good for lessons learned, maybe, as far as where that team developed and got better. Last year, went on the road in a tough place. It seemed like it was good early for confidence. Can you see something pivotal similarly tonight? Just based on playing, I think, probably a pretty good game against a pretty good team.
I don't know pivotal. I have told them all along after the Texas A&M game, we can't afford to lose another one. Not going into the league we have to go into. You think about the 18 games we've got to play in that league, and then in Kentucky. I mean, we better get better faster, and we better grow up awfully fast. But at least if you go in there with 11 wins, maybe something like that. I think 11 wins. I think if we went out here, we could be 11-1. I mean, the whole deal is that what it is? I think that's what it is. But now we gotta go get ready for Pitt. We haven't fared very well in the Pete. We need to go in there and play well.
I mean, none of these guys have ever played at Pitt, probably know anything about the rivalry. Is that anything you'll talk to them about?
I don't think you have to, because I think they're going to hear it. They're going to hear it all week. When the word Pitt comes out of anywhere, I mean, it's just what happens, and I mean they're not immune to hearing that, obviously.
They understand it.
I don't know. I mean, with what's happened in the Big 12 and going into those places and play, I mean, we've gone in. Fortunately, we've gone into like the Ames and played well, and that's a hard place to play. And we've gone into Kansas really and played well. So there, but again, that's JC and Dax. That's not the whole group. We just don't we don't have enough upperclassmen. I mean, if you give us Issa and Elijah, I mean it's a whole lot different team early. Now I think these guys will get there, but early it's a different team.
Given the respective progress that you're talking about, have you had a team that you've had to lean on or depend on one person as much as you've depended on this team depended on Javon this year?
Yeah, oh yeah. I've had good players though. You know.
Not getting on anybody else, but one guy that's way up here over everybody else.
Well, I think Joe Alexander was that after we kind of got him to play right. Deshaun was that way. Those two, Kevin Jones carried a really bad team to the NCAA tournament his senior year. That was a bad team, and he carried us to the NCAA tournament. And I had tons of guys at Cincinnati. You know, it's an amazing thing. The harder you work, the better you get. And JC has put an enormous amount of time in, and he studies the game, so he's going to get better.